Okay, so normally I wouldn't do this review from my car, but I just watched the episode, so I've got 15 minutes to spare, so I thought, well, why not? So like I said, this is what if Earth's mightiest heroes were killed. So this episode is set around the timeline of Iron Man 2, The Incredible Hulk, and Thor, the original Thor film. So the episode opens with at the point where Nick Fury and Natasha Romanoff are about to recruit Tony Stark, where Tony Stark sat in the big donut in Iron Man 2. Subsequently, they go into the cafe, the donut cafe, and Natasha Romanoff injects him with that stuff, which is to prevent the continuing of the poisoning of the arc reactor in his chest that's killing him. But lo and behold, Tony Stark kills over and dies. At this point, Natasha Romanoff is arrested for the murder of Tony Stark, but Nick Fury helps her get free and needs her to go undercover and find out who's doing the murders, or this murder. So this plays as sort of like a sort of mystery whodunit type of an episode. So we then catch up with Thor. Thor's come to Earth, obviously, and the hammer is in that makeshift shield facility that they've built around the hammer where it crashed on Earth. Thor comes in, like he does in the film. Hawkeye's got eyes on him and an arrow pointed on him, and fires and subsequently kills Thor. Thor obviously dies with the arrow because at this point he's got no powers. His powers have been stripped from him, and he's on Earth like in Thor, the first Thor film, where he's as a human before he gets his powers back. Yes, so then Hawkeye is arrested for this murder of Thor. Whilst in incarceration, Hawkeye ends up dying. So there's this big conspiracy of who's killing off these potential Avengers, Earth's mightiest heroes. Natasha's still undercover, trying to track it down. She goes to get the help of Betty Ross at the college, and she subsequently finds Bruce Banner. This is Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner, but he's been drawn into it. Mark Ruffalo looking instead of Edward Norton. Yes, so they fixed that sort of thing in this animated cartoon. He goes all Hulk like he does in the film when General Ross turns up, but he's been shot prior, which is what makes him turn Hulk, and then he sort of enlarges, and explodes essentially. Now this, there are a lot of small clues as to who the identity of the killer is, and I did pick up on them, so it was no surprise to me, but I'm not going to spoil that part of the story here. Loki comes to Earth to avenge the death of Thor, and he sort of forms a pact with Nick Fury, for Nick Fury to bring whoever the murderer is by sunup, and he won't, destroy Earth, basically. So I'm going to leave the story there because I don't want to spoil. If you watch this and you ain't watched it, I don't want to spoil who done it. I don't want to spoil the impact of this stone being dropped in water, so to speak, and the ripple effect and the larger implications of this happening. Because by the end, there are huge implications. It's fantastic. This is what I want from What If. I want it to end with you thinking about the world that these events have created, and this is exactly what it should, What If should do, because you have the initial story, but you come away at the end and you're left with the realization that you know, these small changes have a vast impact on things. And, you know, it'd be great to see what happened next at the end of this. I mean, it really would. Maybe we will at some point. Maybe it will all come together. Now, if you're not watching Marvel's What If, you should. Now, as for the voice cast of this, obviously, Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson didn't voice Tony Stark and Black Widow. Tony Stark sounded fine, but he was only in it for a minuscule amount of time. But other returning voice actors, you do have Sam Jackson, you have Clark Gregg, you have Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, Tom Hiddleston, Bullseye, Frank Grillo, Mark Ruffalo, like I said. Yeah, it's fantastic. They got all these people in it to voice, and it's great. The animation quality is as good as the other episodes. Yeah, it's fun. There's like I said, there is some action in it, but it does play more as a sort of who done it. You know, there's this mystery element to it. So yeah, again, for the third episode, fantastic. I really enjoyed it. It needs to be watched. If you're not watching this, don't dismiss it just because it's animation. It's fantastic. It's going to lead to a bigger thing and have impact on the MCU further down the line, no doubt. I'm sure it will. Yeah, so a thumbs up. I mean, I think so far the weakest episode has been the first one, which was very good, but in the sense that it didn't really play too much outside of the events of Captain America itself. And with episode 2 and 3, you saw these larger, scarier implications of the changes that had been made. So yeah, fantastic episode. I'm going to leave it there. I will be back next week to review episode 4. I will be at home for that because I've actually got a week annual leave. Yeah, so that'll be done in my usual area, not in my car. So anyway, if you're a new viewer and you've stuck with this, please consider subscribing, checking out my other content. I've got a wealth of content. Please hit the notification bell to keep apprised of said content, the upcoming content. And if you wish to leave me a comment, I will get back to you. Yeah, so anyway, this is AJ. I'm shooting off, and I shall speak to you later. Take care all. Have a safe day. Goodbye.